Hello. So there we go. I got a video, and from my longtime viewers, and he's asking, said, "Glad you made a video on, or a series of videos, a course, link below, on how to. It's free, how to beat insomnia. But what do you do when you're going through it? Like, make a video on how you got through your worst day, just hour to hour, even though it's miserable and it's exhausting." So this is that. So I will start with a mindset. The mindset I had when I'm just in the thick of it. I haven't slept for 7 days. Before that, I got like an hour of sleep 7 days ago. Another 5 days, hour of sleep. 5 days, just miserable. It's going on for months. When I'm in this state, what do I do? So the first thing that I do is I actually tend to smoke a lot of pot when I'm experiencing insomnia. And I'll get into that in a bit because one of the things that happens is I become sort of homicidal. I haven't killed anyone, but it's really tempting. Like sometimes it's like if you smoke cigarettes or weed or something, you'd be like, I just really want to smoke weed or smoke a cigarette. That's how I feel about burning down buildings when I haven't slept. And I don't do it because whenever I do sleep, I'm like, why would I want to burn down buildings? Thank God I didn't burn down any buildings while I wasn't sleeping. So I'm not just going to go do irreparable actions that I can't take back simply because I haven't slept. So that's a good mentality too, is don't just do something that you would never do if you had slept that you can't possibly take back because you haven't slept, because then you're giving the insomnia more power. So smoking pot does tend to chill that out a little bit. A really great formula that I used this last time around when I wasn't sleeping at all was go for a walk. Just make myself walk just to get the blood pumping and everything. It does help. Sometimes that alone would trigger me to get so tired I would get like an hour of sleep. So that was nice. Go for a walk, and then I drink a bunch of tea, smoke weed, and meditate for like an hour. That was really helpful. And I would just keep smoking while I was meditating too. Like I would just be like, I'm going to keep breathing and focusing on my breathing, because there's a craziness problem involved when you're not sleeping. You feel insane. So I'm like, how do I feel sane? Well, if I can make myself walk, put one foot in front of another, if I can make myself focus on my breathing and through that relax, that's really great. And sometimes I just couldn't do that because I just felt too schizo. So then tea, weed would help me focus on my breathing. Journaling a bit. Journaling would help me. Laying down, just simply laying down, just alternating between like walking, meditating, journaling, and laying down, doing absolutely nothing. Listening to audiobooks was helpful. Fasting was very helpful, like just fasting. Drinking tons of water was helpful. Gonna take a second to really try to like put myself back in this mindset so I can give more specific advice. Yeah, journaling is really helpful because you need to have a record of what's going on because you're not going to remember anything. And just having like a record of what's going on and what I'm doing about it. It keeps it in your head that you're experiencing something real, because nothing feels real when you're not sleeping. That you're doing something about it. You have notes on what works and what doesn't work. And you're kind of like seeing what it is that you're trying here and acting here on paper. That is very helpful as well. I'd say really like try to lean on the people around you. If you have kids, you really need to lean on the people around you. If you don't have kids, then just communicate honestly to everyone around you what's going on, and don't let them lock you up in a psych ward. That wouldn't be a good idea. I don't recommend taking sleeping pills. I never took sleeping pills because they're very very addictive and they don't work. Chlorella while fasting with green tea is actually really helpful for knocking you out. You have to make a long-term plan, and you have to stick to it, and you have to journal about how you're sticking to it. Like, you have to create a way out by believing in the way out. It's really like a matter of belief. It's like you have to do whatever it is you have to do in order to believe that there is a way out of this predicament, and then do whatever it is you have to do to convince yourself that you are on that way out of this predicament. That's really what it is you're doing, because you do have to actually get out of the predicament, but you also have to convince yourself that you're getting out of the predicament, because even if you're getting out of the predicament, you'll convince yourself that you're not, and then you'll just despair, and despair is no bueno. You can't despair. You can't afford despair. Despair is expensive, man. You can't even sleep. You can't afford despair. So I'd also say, like, if you can still drive, go somewhere beautiful, just hang out and sit there. Take like multiple days of no contact with any people and go up to the mountains and just meditate in the mountains. Divorce yourself from the stress. Like, there's the stress of not sleeping and all of the physiological stress that comes with that. And then there's the stress of thinking about that. You have to get rid of this stress. Just deal with the actual physiological problem through fasting, green tea, walking, meditating, dietary intervention, journaling to show yourself that you're actually doing these things. And just recognize that it's really, 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 really effing hard. I think having this little checklist of walk, meditate, journal every day is really helpful. It's really helpful for me. That was really helpful for me, because I'm like, okay, well, I walked, I meditated, and I journaled. Clearly, I'm not a piece of shit, and I'm actually doing stuff that's gonna make me healthier. Another thing is just drinking. I just drink massive quantities. Yeah, hey, a little hiccup. But drinking massive quantities of green tea. I just sit there and just chug green tea until I got to the point where I was like nauseous and really overstimulated. I think there's a detox benefit to green tea and some neurological benefits to green tea, and it didn't hurt me doing that. And I actually felt better, and sometimes I would do that and then fall asleep. There's a pattern here. I would fast and sometimes fall asleep. I'm just trying to figure out little things I can do that make me feel better, and I'm trying to write them down in my journal to validate to myself that I'm making progress. Like, look, here's 7 pages of stuff I've written down. Can anyone read it? Does it work? Maybe, but it's stuff, and then I can try it later, and then I can validate whether it works or not. I can look into the science of whether it works or not. I'm building a base. I'm actually building something instead of just dying. And that's really the thing. Making these YouTube videos freaking helped me a lot, honestly. Last time I was going through it, I'm like, well, at least if I'm fucking dying, I'm gonna document this crap. Because I was also really irritated that, like, people just didn't understand. Like, I'd be like, I didn't sleep for a month. And they'd be like, but you did sleep, though. But you did sleep, though. No, I didn't. That's why I used the words, I didn't sleep for a month. Numbnuts. It's like they couldn't comprehend that I didn't sleep for a month means I didn't sleep for a month. So, build build, but it's hard to build. So document by journaling, meditate like for an hour. That really, really helps. Just lay down and don't move. Even if you can't sleep, that really helps. Walk so that your body's at least doing circulation. This is kind of the basis of what I do. Like, I'd be like a zombie. I'd just be like, but at least I was a zombie doing predictable things, and I made a record of what I was doing. And over the years, I would actually research all the stuff I did when I wasn't sleeping that worked, and I'd figure the science behind it. I'd write all that down. I just kept doing this until I created the Insomnia course. That's how I created that. I just thousands, tens of thousands, 20,000 hours of research on these notes I would take as the stuff that seemed to work. I create like little rewards for myself too. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fast for 36 hours because that's good for me, you know. Might help me sleep, might not, but at least it's good for me. And then I'm gonna go pig out on like 3,000 calories of like ice cream, chocolate, and chips. I like tortilla chips. I like tortilla chips and like guacamole or something. I find Lion Diet, beef, salt, and water really helps me sleep now. But if I didn't think that that was gonna help me sleep, when I didn't think that, I would do like 48-hour fast. Because at least I'm fasting, so I have something to look forward to. It's like, okay, well, right now I'm 24 hours into the fast. At some point, I'll be 48 hours into the fast. So at least I'll feel different. And then maybe I'll be able to sleep because I'm 48 hours into the fast. And then if that doesn't help me sleep, maybe pigging out on all this food will help me sleep. I'll experiment on all the different kinds of food I can eat and see which one helps me sleep. So there's something to look forward to. I'm like, okay, well, if this 48-hour fast and then feast doesn't help me sleep, maybe the next one will. And I'll create a little plan for that. And I do this in my journal. And I create these plans while meditating. And it worked. I can sleep now. I slept last night. Sometimes I still don't sleep and it sucks. But whatever. You know what I did? I think it's Adderall. I'm not taking Adderall anymore. I took phenylparacetam today. Took Vyvanse yesterday. I said Adderall in the previous video, but I misspoke. It was Vyvanse. Took Vyvanse yesterday. Just because I'm tapering off of Adderall and I'm doing the specific taper that's in the other videos. I'll just share it. It's like 3 days off, 1 day on, 5 days off, 1 day on, 7 days off, 1 day on, etc. So that's what I did. That's what I still do. It's just creating these little systems. And at the end of the day, as long as you don't die, if you keep on fasting, walking, meditating, you'll get really good at meditating. I've gotten very good at meditating. You'll get really good at walking, which will help your metabolism. You'll heal your body a bit from the fasting, and then with the feasting cycles, you'll figure out which foods help you rest more. I mean, back in high school when I really couldn't sleep for shit, the only thing that would help me sleep is I'd 48-hour fast and I'd eat as much food as I possibly could. And I'd pass out. Maybe I have to do a 56-hour fast, but after I did that and I eat a ton of food, I'd pass out a little bit. Maybe I only slept once every 2 or 3 days, but fucking sleeping a little bit, it's better than nothing. Then I'm laying on the couch just not moving, allowing my body to clear out nascent cells and stuff, which actually helps as well. I'm walking around, so I'm kind of moving my body. It kind of connects my mind and my feet and everything in between. I'm like, okay, well, this is nice. I can look at that tree, and then I can move over to the tree. It sounds stupid if you haven't had insomnia, but that was a tremendous relief to me. I'm like, wow, at least I can move from here to the tree, and if I do that enough, then I feel a little better, and then it doesn't feel so terrible when I just lay and sit down. And then I just sit there and just drink green tea and smoke weed and meditate for like an hour, sometimes 2 hours. That's all I do. I just feel, I'm like, how high on green tea and weed can I possibly get? That was a question I had. I've answered it pretty fucking high. It felt better than not sleeping, and sometimes I'd even sleep after drinking all that green tea. It's kind of weird, but sometimes it actually just triggered me to fall asleep. Maybe for like an hour or something, 2 hours, sometimes 8 hours, but It was something. I just write this stuff down. I could be like, okay, this is regulating my HPA axis. The green tea, especially when fasting, is clearing out my gut from endotoxin. So there's an endotoxin component here. So there's clearly something fermenting with bad gut bacteria. Okay, chlorella might help. I just write this shit down. I just try it. A lot of the time it was wrong, but I write down when it was right. And a year later from this current episode, I'm in way better shape and I'm sleeping and I feel good and I can talk coherently and I can make videos. And I don't want to kill people all the time. That only makes sense if you've had insomnia. I don't actually want to kill people. Like, God, I don't want these videos to be like pulled up and someone's like, he wants to kill people. I don't want to kill people. I don't want to kill anyone. I just hadn't slept for like 2 weeks. And before that, it was like another 2 weeks. And before that, it was like a week. And before that, and it's like maybe an hour or two of sleep in between. Your brain goes to places. It's rather dark. Anyone who's concerned about this should become an advocate of pure food and water, so that we don't have to have people developing neurological problems through no fault of their own. That's really what it was. It was a neurological problem. Wood carving was kind of nice. I was kind of terrible at it because I couldn't sleep, but like just doing meditative things. Drove to Vermont and just sat in the middle of a river on a rock. That was nice. Did that for like 5 hours. Just sat there in the middle of a river. Because you have the insomnia, so everything is shit and your brain's just blah, and you don't want to move or do anything and it's all blah. So you can use that. You could just do nothing in the middle of a river on a rock in Vermont. And you'll actually probably feel better. It's kind of zen. Didn't help me sleep. But I was like, okay, I mean, this isn't fucking terrible. I mean, I don't know. Maybe some fairies will come out and I'll start hallucinating fairies or something because I haven't slept in ages. I didn't, but maybe, you know. So that was my daily thing, and I would just kind of create these plans. Then I would just make sure these plans got executed. The worst thing I could really do was just like pretend it wasn't happening and try to go through my life anyway. Like I just settled on becoming an expert on insomnia and the causes of insomnia rather than becoming an expert on dealing with abject misery while no one around me understands what I'm going through and pretending that it's not happening till I die. And then I find little pockets of peace intermittently. Maybe once every 2 weeks I would get really hopped up on caffeine and then go to jiu-jitsu open mats and kick some butt. But that kind of very stimulating for my nervous system. Hiking, if you can tolerate hiking, like you just gotta... I mean, one thing that also helped is just making these videos. Like making these videos showed people in my personal life that even though I'm dying from insomnia, I'm still being productive. I'm still making these videos. People are still watching these videos. These videos are helping people. I'm helping people. And then people were like, oh, well, it kind of created this nice little buffer where like if people really wanted to understand where I was at, they could just watch my YouTube videos. But at the very least, they understood that I was making something and that I wasn't like just like a heroin addict who was like, or like a meth addict or something. Like, I don't know. People's brains go to weird places. Like they'll just be like, is this person a meth addict? Is that why they can't sleep? No one in my personal life asked me this, but I don't know. Maybe I was just paranoid because I couldn't sleep and I thought that people thought I was a drug addict or something. Like, I don't know. I don't really know. But I was like, it's more like convincing yourself. Like by convincing myself that I've created an environment where I am demonstratively living out the highest ideals of the condition that I have and using those ideals to both make myself healthier, create some sort of record of what I'm doing, difference in science and fucking around is writing shit down, and perhaps even helping people. I mean, definitely helping people, but at least just the perhaps helping people. People were like, wow. And they gave me the grace that I needed. And a lot of it's just my own communication. I have a horrible time communicating what I'm going through when I have insomnia. It's usually just, fuck off, I'm dying, leave me alone. Did that a lot of high school and college. Didn't work as well. So making these videos, though, really help people in my life understand what I'm going through and understand why I'm doing everything I'm doing, so that I got the slack I needed. But I mean, it's hard. Like, I couldn't work a normal job when I have insomnia. I just couldn't do it. I mean, like, that would be, maybe I could figure out a way to do it, but I didn't. I created my own business. I already had a business going, but I adapted it more to insomnia. But you got to get creative, and you got to think of this as life or death. That's the other thing too, is think of this as life or death. Like, this is not a simple matter of like, oh, I'm being a little pussy. Oh, this is, oh, I boo-booed my pinky toe. Like, this shit will kill you. Just look at fatal insomnia. Look at the symptoms of fatal insomnia. Like, just go check it out yourself. I mean, people don't tend to survive this. So if you can just survive and you can document it, holy cow. I mean, really, like, one of the things I hope to do by making these videos is inspire other people to make videos on insomnia so that they make videos, and then people are aware that not only is this a thing, not only does this start with insomnia and autoimmune issues and then degenerate into what they call fatal insomnia, but that people can get better from it. That's a lot of the problem. People don't believe they can get better. They don't believe that they can get better. They believe that maybe I'll just get better magically, or maybe I'll die magically. But they don't believe that they, by their own will, can get better, no matter how hard it is. I didn't either. It was hard for me to convince myself of that, because it's just like, but I mean, I'm very stubborn. Like, I am so stubborn as a human being. It's like, I'm raising kids and they're stubborn as me, and it's hard. So like, I was just like, well, I have two options. One, this is going to kill me and there's nothing I can do about it. Or two, this may kill me and there's something I can do about it. I'm like, I'm just going to assume it's option two, because like, option one is just death. And if it doesn't kill me and there was nothing I could do about it, I don't know. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you win the lottery. I'm not going to bank on it. So I'm just going to treat this like the fight to the death it is, and I'm going to fucking win. And I'm going to win one step at a time by not burning buildings down, not murdering anyone I wouldn't kill anyway, which isn't anyone. I haven't killed anyone, but just throwing that out there. Like, if someone hurt my family members, I'd have to kill them, but, or at least it would get dark, whatever. But not going to do any of that. I'm not going to become addicted to hard drugs. I am not going to I'm not going to despair and do damaging things like drink alcohol and poison myself. I am going to take one bloody step forward after bloody step forward until I'm not dealing with this anymore. Or at least it's better. Maybe that step is, I'm going to go walk around the block and then I'm going to sit down. I'm going to walk around the block and then I'm going to drink a bunch of water, then I'm going to sit down. I'm going to walk around the block, drink a bunch of water, sit down, smoke some weed, drink some green tea, and meditate. Tell you, after an hour or 2 hours of meditation, I felt better. My HPA axis was more regulated than it was before. Physical changing. Not sleeping dysregulates the HPA axis. It's a lot of what you're dealing with right now. Meditating, walking, regulate the HPA axis. Meditating, much more so. The remainder of my cough. Yeah, meditating really, really helpful. Weed actually did help the like shaky, nausea, headache, wanna die feeling. It did. So I'd get stoned off my ass, drink green tea, and meditate. After, I'd feel better. And then I'd lay down, and I'd get up, and I'd do it again. And I'd just keep doing that. And I would just chase the feeling of feeling better in my own mind and body without damaging myself. Like, maybe alcohol would make me feel better, but I didn't do that. I'd drink green tea, I'd smoke weed, and I'd meditate. And I'd walk, and I'd drink a ton of water, and I'd fast, and I'd binge on healthy food that tastes yummy. until I figured out a better strategy. Then I'd write it all down and try that better strategy. And I just keep doing this. Still do this. Make a video about it too and be like, fuck you, I'm not gonna die from this shit. Watch my videos in a year from now. I'm gonna be killing it. Urgh. Those are my videos a year ago. Go back to my videos a year ago. That's what I'm saying. That's where I am now. I hope that helps. Let me know in the comments. Done.